these Marby ink pads. So I'm just gonna, I like to ink things upside down because I can control where it goes. And what I'm gonna do is just line it up here and stamp that. So I've got my little fence. So now what I'm going to do is take my green, and I have this what we call vining cube. And we have these little cute darling little vines that go up the fence. And I'm just going to ink that up in green. And I'm going to stamp that so that it looks like it's crawling up the fence. Isn't that neat? But look at how much better that is now that I added that little bit of color and that little vine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stipple brush. Have you all used stipple brushes before? And I'm going to take the green and just add a little grass to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right along the edges like this, so it looks like the grass. And look at how quickly I'm doing it. And these are wonderful too because these are water resistant. All I have to do is take a paper towel with some water, and Stamping Details is the only one that has them this large, which is really nice. So then I like to go around the edges just a little bit darker because I think it adds a little bit more interest. So voila, I've done that. Okay, so now I'm going to do the sky. And I'm going to use my blue here. So I'm going to do the same thing, just coming on in here with the color. And I'm going to go down into the fence a little bit, because you got to have some color behind the fence. Again, I'm going to go around here for a little bit extra interest to make it darker. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we'll take Aiden this time. I just love this little boy. He's holding this little birdie I put in his hand. And we're going to take these little zap dots here. And this is also a stamp that you... This is a stamp as well. And I just colored him with pencils and cut him out. Very easy. I didn't even color this part. It doesn't need it. And so then I'm going to put some little pop dots down there, some zap dots. And then what I did a little earlier is I cut one of them in half so that I could get his legs. So you just take the scissors and cut that right in half. Just like that. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I think I want to add Rover because I love this little dog, especially with Aiden. Isn't he adorable? And I'm going to take and put some adhesive on him. And I'm going to stick him down. Oh, we'll put him right here, going over the fence, just like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the paper off of the zap dots here. Just like that.
Did you use the vine?
I did. That's the vining. Yeah. Isn't that great? It just adds a lot.
I bought that.
Oh, good. It adds so much to that fence. And then I'm just going to stick him right into Rover a little bit so it's got a little dimension here. Stick it down just like that. Isn't that cute?
You could frame that practically.
And you saw how quickly I did it. And so then, this is kind of fun. I made little tag enforcers. Reinforcers, it's called. And I just took little scraps of cardstock. And so what I'm going to do now is just put a little adhesive on this. And see how this just comes right up off of that? Just great on those
craft sheets.
Craft sheets. That one. And I'm just going to put this right here.
Table except because you can spray, inks, glue, it comes
wipe it right
off.
up.
Sometimes I even stamp the pad on there.
Yeah,
and then
pick up
spritz
the
it
color.
and then put a card on it.
And I just take a regular old hole punch like this and line it up again and punch through, just like that. And then I might want to add a saying. So I've got thanks for making me smile. There's lots of others we have too. Thanks, I needed that. And so I'm just going to ink this up like that. And I'm going to stamp it right over here. So now I have the front all ready to go. Now in this case what I did is I decided that I wanted to make the back of it a little prettier, just instead of just the plain cardstock. So what I did is I glued a piece of paper here, and I made these little tags by hand too. You can easily do that. So then what I'm going to do is take one of these and put some more adhesive on it, just like that. And I'm going to make another hole reinforcer just like that. Punch the hole. Then I have my little insert here. And what I'm going to do, I've scored down both sides and across. And what I use to do that is the best tool you will ever invest in, this score pal. Do you have it?
Yes.
This is absolutely the best tool out there for doing it. It gives really good score lines. And it even has an insert like this that goes in it, and then all of a sudden you've got a work surface and a cutting mat. Okay, so then what I did is I'm just folding on the score lines that I did with the score pal. Just like that. And the other thing that I did too was, as you can see, is that wherever my score lines met, I just put a little V right there in the corner there, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my adhesive roller again, and I'm going to do this like that. I'm going to take this right side up, and I'm going to attach that down like that. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to put more adhesive here. This is also right side up, like that. Now I'm going to take and put adhesive here, 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 and here. And then I'm just going to fold everything up. So basically I'm lining up the edge of the tag, just like that. And the edge of the tag here and here. And there's your little tag back.
And where did you get the dimensions for that? Did you make that up? Or?
Yes, I have the instructions, and I'm offering them free with the purchase of any 2 V-line stamps. So then we just go through the holes like this and tie a bow. And then you can put little confetti, you can put anything you want in there. Makes a great make and take for your store too. So let's just cut this off.
Paper, stamps,
And you're good to go. You can put candy in there, a small gift.
Thank you, Mrs. Susan. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.